Hello, everybody. Scott Golden Opportunities Coaching here. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is we bring about topics of a spiritual, psychological, coaching-related paradigm, and we discuss them in an audio format for you, mostly on a daily basis. We try to be here as often as we can. We have over 280 audios up now on a variety of topics. Please feel free to search through and find things that are helpful to you. And if there is something that would be more helpful to you, please feel free to comment below, and we can often get that done in a couple of days for you. So today we're going to talk about 6 or 7 steps about how being a student of life brings you more balance. So being a student of life means learning from every experience, the positive, the negative, and the neutral. If we keep ourselves open to learning from all things, it's easier not to get bored, it's easier not to get disappointed, and it's also easier to deal with social interaction. If we have expectations of others, most likely we'll get disappointed. If, however, we view even our relationships as opportunities to learn and grow, it will be easier to manage our expectations in that regard or how we interact with people. Be open-minded in everything you do. An open, positive, and neutral mindset can improve your level of happiness. Now, I say open and positive and neutral. What that means is shifting between the two at will. Positive thinking alone is not balanced. What I mean here is simply that if you're only positive, you're ignoring a whole different side of the world, which is the negative side. There are people who have negative intent. There are people who do mean, unkind, or criminal things. To ignore this is to block out the world. Instead, realize that those things happen, but it doesn't necessarily have to change the fact that you can find gratitude and positivity in even those moments if needed, but also be neutral and understand that some people don't have your best interest at heart. When your default setting is neutral, you can better assess the decisions you make and then go to positive when it's warranted, rather than going to positive at all times and being disappointed, thus setting yourself up for potential trauma in the future. So commit to learning something new every day, whether it's reading a chapter in a book, listening to a lecture, seeking out positive affirmation, or listening and talking with somebody who knows about a topic you know nothing about. The more you begin to cherish the differences in life while seeking unity of human nature, the more fulfilled you will feel. When we learn, we grow. When we grow, we begin to have the ability to flourish. Conquer your fear as often as you can. Obviously, this doesn't mean jump out of a plane without a parachute. We need to do this safely, but at the same time, assess the level of real risk that's in a scary thing for you, and then choose to tackle each day or each week something that has scared you before. When you overcome your worst fear, it is then you will find your greatest freedom. If your worst fear, for example, is getting truly sick, and then you're confronted with an illness, or your worst fear is being abandoned, and then you spend a week in the wilderness and you're okay, you'll begin to see that your worst fears are simply recipes of your mind telling you can't, when actually you had the strength to do whatever you need to do all along. Stay hungry for expansion. Whether it be in your personal life, your professional life, or your spiritual life, always want more. Now, balance this with gratitude. Be grateful for what you have, but be expanding at the same time. Take time for both every day. Expand in ways that you do not have knowledge or power, but also be grateful for every opportunity you have, and remember those who have less. Because when you remember those that have less, you will reevaluate your own blessings and that which is in your best interest. Also, release expectation of others. If you truly want to be a student of life, you must understand that to expect another person to do something and see it not as a preference but as a demand, you're actually going to lose time. That doesn't mean we can't prefer that our spouse not cheat on us, or that our ex be civil, or that our boss appreciates our work. But we also have to be able to cope when these things are not true. Expectations that someone is going to behave the way we believe they should often takes us away from actually making progress and learning all that life has to offer. The next thing is to remember to take things lightly and simply. Nothing is serious until you make it that way. So, when you understand that in order for something to be serious or taken seriously or have a serious impact on you, you have to believe first that it can, and second, you have to make an allowance for it to do so. When you begin to understand that you don't have to do that under any circumstance, and that most of the things you take most seriously that cause you the most pain, you learned to react and behave in this way. Sometimes it's necessary to unlearn our old habits of expectation in order to get the most out of life. The last thing is reflect on what's happening around you at all times. Take the life lessons that the world, your community, and politics, religion, and other things have shown us, not as guides necessarily of how to live your life, but instead of things that you can benefit from if they are positive, things to avoid if they're negative, and things to investigate if they're neutral. Remember, if any one person or group of people had all the answers, then the world would be a paradise. It is not that yet, so therefore there is good and bad or dark and light in all things. And hopefully this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.